Good day all. I hope you all are safe and sound. And I wish you all be safe and sound. Be at home and be safe from the Chinese Wuhan virus, which has created a menace worldwide and globally. A little message about this is because we know how we are suffering and what we are suffering because of Chinese Wuhan virus universally and globally. The only way perhaps we can do it is to not only just to show our reaction, perhaps the boycott the Chinese products. That's my personal view. If you guys agree with it, please do follow. But I certainly would do, and I'm doing it. Now, coming to my lecture number 25th, it's about an accident which took place in Oraga Channel between the collision between two ships. First, I will show you the accident report, pictorial diagram, and same thing has been depicted over the board, which is behind me. So we'll just start with the initial incident investigation report with a pictorial thing which has been reflected in the incident investigation report. As I said earlier, my agenda is not to pinpoint the fault or something. I'm not on a fault finding mission as far as this incident investigation is concerned. The only thing we can talk about with our experience that perhaps what could have been done, which might have saved an accident and or incident like this. So coming to the subject, I will show you here on the laptop. This is the figure. This is where the accident took place. There are two vessels involved. One is the vessel A, which is a container vessel with a GRT of 25,305 metric tons, which had a pallet on board. Vessel B, another cargo ship, which is pretty small. She had a GRT of 391 tons. This particular incident took place on October the 15th, 2019 at 0422 minutes and 32 seconds local time. So coming to this report, the accident or the collision which took place has been taken from here and reproduced. Just let me get my laptop in order. So, if you can see here, which I will explain you in details, the vessels, they enter the Oraga Sudo that has been depicted over here on the board as well. They enter the channel, and then this is the inside picture which I will show you separately, which I have drawn it over here. I will explain you all these things in details. So moving on from here, I come to my little board. So, as I repeat myself, the two vessels involved, the first one was container vessel GRT 25,305 metric tons, which had a pallet on board, a local pallet, senior Japanese pallet. Vessel B, another cargo ship, which 391 metric tons of gross GRT. Date and time, as I said earlier, 15th October 2019 at 0422, 32 seconds local time. Oraga Channel is the place where this accident took place. Vessel A, which is a container vessel, her name is APL Pusan. And vessel B, which is a Japanese local ship, her name is Shotoku Maru. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Shotoku Maru. So, now there are a few points to ponder. First and foremost, I would like to ask is that most of these accidents, they take place especially during the palletage area or when the pallet is on board. Is it because the master becomes a bit complacent or a bit relaxed, and or DD officers also become bit complacent that okay, pilot is on board, now he'll take the vessel to there, and we as master and duty officer or bridge team do not exercise due diligence and are mentally relaxed. We are not on our toes just to counter the pilot, maybe because he's also human. He can also make a mistake like how we can. So coming to the lecture, the one thing which I would like to point out, which is written in the accident report also, that vessel A, that is APL Pusan, the top 4 officers were Chinese. Mark my words on these. The top 4 officers were Chinese, which is mentioned in the report. And of course, vessel B was Japanese. So we can understand one thing, because vessel A had the crew, as per the incident investigation report, top 4 officers were Chinese and remaining were Burmese or from Myanmar. So first thing what we can understand, as I can tell you, I can share with you with my personal experience. I have sailed with multinational crew many a times on ship with almost 11 to 12 nationalities. And mind you, when I say so, quite a few times I've sailed with the Chinese officers as well. I'm not being prejudiced. All I'm trying to say is that their approach and the safety awareness, what I've seen generally speaking, and this I'm not talking about from 1 or 2 of my ships where I've experienced, many a ships where I've sailed with the Chinese crew or the Chinese officers. The first thing is the communication barrier, which perhaps is becoming better now. But the main problem is, crux of the matter is the professional competence. Again, this is my personal view. And I do not want this to be prejudiced, but this is my own personal view. Anyhow, coming to the lecture. So, these 2 ships, the vessel A has been drawn with a blue line, and vessel B with a green line, as we can see here. Same thing depicted over here. So we see the timings over here, entering into the Oraga Suido or Oraga Channel. The vessel B originally was bound through this Nakanoose traffic route. In other words, this traffic route joins into this Nakanoose traffic route, which has been drawn into black, where she was supposed to go to anchorage Y. That is the vessel B, the small vessel, which is 391 metric tons, or the Japanese vessel Shotoko Maru. Now, see the chronology of the incidents. The vessel B first overtook the vessel A, like the way you can see 340, this vessel B was here and vessel A is over here. Then vessel B overtook this ship on her starboard side, and thereafter the actual thing which happened, the collision which happened, this is what we are going to talk about. And mind you, there's a buoy here. The vessel A ran through or ran over this buoy. So both the vessels are proceeding the northwesterly channel. Vessel B was supposed to enter into this Nakanoose channel, which was guided by Tokyo Martes, the VTS, which finally asked the vessel B that she is supposed to head for Nakanoose channel, and this is where this north channel gets terminated, whereas this vessel, the vessel A, was supposed to proceed this way. Now, what happened that at this point of time, vessel A thought of overtaking vessel B. She thought that okay, she will overtake, that is the container vessel, that is APL Pusan, thought of overtaking this vessel. Mind you, the pilot on board, the master and or officers perhaps were not in a kind of a situation, or maybe were not confident enough to challenge the pilot or his action, and or they were a bit complacent, or maybe a language problem, as what we discussed. It could be any of those reasons. So at this point of time, 4:20, you can see the vessel A that is the APL Busan, thought of overtaking vessel B, and she increased the speed. And mind you, at that point of time, vessel A did not communicate with vessel B. The Japanese pilot was on board. The other ship had Japanese crew. He did not communicate with the duty officer and or master of vessel B. Now, this brings me to a complete devoid or ignoring or non-compliance of rule number 13, overtaking rule, where it says a vessel overtaking another vessel shall keep clear of the vessel being overtaken. Of course, I'm not going to all nitty-gritties. Of course, a vessel is supposed to be overtaking when she is coming up from more than 22.5 degrees about her beam. And rule also says that under no circumstances a vessel which has overtaken the other vessel and she wants to alter her course to starboard, she becomes a crossing vessel, cannot be. So the rule says a vessel which is overtaking another vessel shall keep clear of the vessel being overtaken until such time she is finally passing clear. In this particular case, the vessel B, that is the Shotoku Maru, did overtake vessel A and she was well passing clear. But the infringement of rule where it took place, one was the safe speed, rule number 6 was not followed. Number 2, the rule also says the vessel shall not alter the course towards a vessel, a beam or above the beam. In other words, what this vessel did, the vessel B, when she was asked by Tokyo Marines, the VHF, that she is supposed to follow Nakanose route, what she did, she gave a harder starboard, whereas by such time vessel A had already thought of overtaking vessel B without notifying vessel A. So what happens? A complete lapse of communication. The vessel A is going like this, vessel B is here, vessel A comes and overtakes her without communicating with her. In the meantime, the Tokyo Marines VTS guides vessel A that she is supposed to follow to Nakanose channel, that is this, the traffic route. This vessel, having the container vessel behind her, she takes almost a 90-degree course without realizing that there is a vessel which is perhaps overtaking her on her starboard quarter. Now that brings both of them to a close water situation. Furthermore, to avoid the collision, as I've depicted here on this INSAT diagram, you can see here vessel A is going nice and easy. Finally, somewhere around this point, she thinks of overtaking the vessel B, and vessel B was called by the Tokyo Marines that she's a small vessel, she can follow in this Nakanose traffic route, which is on her starboard side. So what happens? The vessel B, which is also at fault, alters her course to starboard, whereas vessel A was on her starboard quarter, almost in 22.5 degrees above her beam, or maybe more, because she was in the process of overtaking vessel B. During this point of time, when vessel A realizes that vessel B has altered, given a wide alteration to starboard, there was not sufficient sea room, the vessel A did more alteration, also perhaps being but careful of not to cross this line or channel. She finally runs over this buoy. That is, this buoy, the buoy which is terminating the end of this channel. So she ran over this. The damage sustained to the vessel A, that is Busan, APL Busan, was on her port bow, but vessel B, being small one, sustained a bigger damage on her bow. So gentlemen, what I'm trying to say with these incident investigation reports, as I have reproduced the same thing as per the accident reports, my job is to explain what actually happened and perhaps what could have been done to avoid this kind of a situation or scenario. In other words, for this kind of a repetition should not take place. This kind of a repetition of accident should not take place. Now, when we talk about, just to revise ourselves, vessel B, 391 GRT, that is Shotokumaru, is coming nice and easy, and she has overtaken vessel A. But at this point of time, vessel A realizes that probably she's running short of time or whatever the reason it is, and mind you, vessel A had a pilot on board. She did not think of communicating with the vessel B that she intends to overtake her on her starboard side. Again, maybe the pilot was complacent, thinking it's a Japanese ship, Japanese local ship, and he's a Japanese pilot. He knows what to do best. And the other thing, the crew on board, the top four, the master and the chief officer, the top four Chinese, none of them and or the GD officers did ever try to ask pilot what's his intention. Seems there was a complete failure of bridge team management. First and foremost, there was lapse of communication as it can be construed. Number two, the actions what pilot was taking were neither being monitored and or at times being challenged. Like in case of he was planning to overtake the ship, the vessel B, a normal modus operandi is that pilot will discuss with master that, okay captain, I'm planning to overtake this ship on a starboard side because we are going to go like this, which is the normal thing, phenomenon of part and parcel of the passage planning, and in between if there's any change of plan, the pilot is supposed to appraise and discuss with the master. And master in return should also cast his opinion, or if required, the best thing would have been, instead of overtaking her, what I said, safe speed, if vessel A could have reduced the speed, knowing, because during that point of time, Tokyo Marines had called that this vessel is supposed to proceed this way. If she had to reduce her speed and probably go stern of this ship, let her go on her starboard side, he has a clear sea room, that would have been the most appropriate action in my humble opinion, that if vessel A had to reduce the speed, once he got to learn that vessel B is going to enter this channel, reduce the speed, go behind her. Once vessel B goes to starboard, he has got all the sea clear to him on the port side, and he can go and increase the speed as it's deemed necessary. So the main thing which I find devoid of one was is non-compliance of rule number 13, the overtaking, and rule number 6, the safe speed, was not followed. So again, this is on the inside what I've shown you here in the bigger picture, what happened. Vessel A is proceeding this way, she's somewhere down the line thought of increasing the speed, vessel B is going at her speed, but once she was asked by Tokyo Marines that she's being a smaller vessel, she was supposed to go to some anchorage Y, and she can proceed through this route, and without seeing what is behind her, the vessel B gives a hard starboard, and at that point of time, vessel A was in the close proximity, in the close quarter situation, and that's where this particular incident or collision took place. So, the other thing which I've written here, I jotted it down so that I don't forget when I'm delivering my lecture, is of course the other thing besides the rules what I talked about is a complete the situational awareness of vessel A and vessel B, master and pilots, is also under sign of interrogation. Situational awareness. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the second lecture on incident investigation I have prepared for all of our benefits. If you think I should do more of this, please do let me know. And I finish with this. If somebody has any query, can contact me on my WhatsApp or on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel and ask me if they wish me to clarify something. And with this, I say thank you very much. And again, I request you all to be hale and hearty and healthy, stay safe, and stay safe from this Chinese Wuhan virus. Thank you very much. Good day. Thanks.